Roger, the EVA is progressing beautifully. They're setting up the flag now.
He was on man's first mission to the moon, the second human to step foot there. But for Buzz Aldrin, that's not enough. He's setting his sights on the planet of Mars.
What do you envision for Mars?
A growing, permanent settlement where people arrive there knowing that they're going to spend the rest of their life, and they've been trained as a team to add to that with varieties of different achievements.
Aldrin envisions this happening by 2035. But the mission to Mars faces astronomical challenges, financially, technologically, and politically.
If I could give one political word to the political people, it's to think 20, 30 years for the best of the country, not for where you come from.
But in times of sequestration, it seems the government is putting space travel on the back burner. The Obama administration has proposed slashing NASA's planetary program in the 2014 budget. Now the private sector is stepping up. Dennis Tito, a multimillionaire and world's first space tourist, plans to send a couple on a flyby mission to Mars by 2018. The Inspiration Mars project envisions the spacecraft to look like this. Well, for space travelers, 2018 is an ideal date, and that's because Mars and Earth orbit the sun at different speeds. As you can see, Earth's track isn't as big, so it orbits the sun much more quickly. And that means the distance between the two planets is constantly changing. And in 2018, the group says the planets come together perfectly for the mission, allowing them to fly to Mars and back in about 500 days. And Tito isn't the only businessman setting his sights beyond Earth's skies. In recent weeks, Virgin Galactic successfully test launched its Spaceship Two. And in the desert of southwest New Mexico, the first spaceport built exclusively for paying passengers eagerly awaits their first customer. RT got a sneak peek at the spaceport where the first commercial flight is slated to take off in 2014.
This is where we'll actually control launches. As you look out here, you'll see our runway, which we call a spaceway, and our horizontal launch customers will take off down this spaceway, much like an airplane.
This was built to be Virgin Galactic's headquarters, set to serve as a terminal and a hangar. It's here where passengers board their spacecraft and take off from this 12,000-foot runway. Just this week, Virgin Galactic announced they've hired former military pilots. Frederick Sturckow was a NASA pilot and retired U.S. Marine Corps colonel. Michael Mazzucci is a retired U.S. Air Force lieutenant colonel. Both men have jumped to the private sector to pilot the company's Spaceship Two.
It's the beginning of the commercial passenger space line industry, just like we have the commercial passenger airline industry. So it is the dawn of a new era.
All signs that commercial interests are shaping the destiny of human space travel, changing the game and face of astronauts as we know it.
Other companies also are going to begin launches in the next year or two. So I think the opportunities for tourists are great.
Renowned astronauts like Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were cherry-picked by NASA for scientific and military achievements and risked their own lives to venture to unknown territory. But with the dawn of space tourism, more aspiring space travelers are paying their way. The hope is that private and government interests will intersect.
Now you can stimulate the interest and get people to think more about what really we can do with more support.
In Washington, Liz Wall, RT.